Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Abdulwahid Al Abdulwahid. I have a PhD in cybersecurity from the University of Plymouth. I am working now as an assistant professor of cybersecurity and currently the deputy manager of planning and development at Jubail University College, where the largest industrial city in the world is located at Jubail Industrial City. So I am very familiar with the situation and current situation in the industry today, or at least I claim that I have. Today, inshallah, I'm going to talk about Industry 4 or the fourth revolution, industrial revolution. As you know, that Industry 4 is not just or merely a technology driven solution through IoT only, as some of us may believe. So, it is a complete revolution that requires transformation of today's business models and industries. This transformation with the evolutionary technologies surrounding it will bring its own challenges that require factors and enablers which will be scarce, rare in the market due to the demand as adoption rate catch momentum. So this presentation sets the stage on the definitions of Industry 4, how it is relevant to the Saudi industrial cities and its industries, and then we will move to the requirements and challenges and opportunities brought. Then at the end, we will conclude with some recommended approaches to seize the Industry 4 opportunities. So what about the drivers and motives to move towards the Industry 4 or to change our current situation, which is called Industry 3? If you can notice here, this is a photo from 1900 in the Fifth Avenue of New York City. Can you see a car here? Most of them, or the majority, if you can see enough, that are riding horses. However, there is a car over there. Only one car among this crowd. This is in 1900. Okay. See the situation after that. Now it is the opposite, completely the opposite. Where is the horse now? In the previous photo, the majority or all the riders here are riding horses except one car, but here is the opposite. Can you see a horse here? Yes, there is only one here, but guess what? This is after only 13 years. See that this is the big and dramatic shift in the mechanical industry at the time that shifted the 99% of the use at that time of horses merely to move towards utilizing mainly the cars. This is even now it is getting faster and faster. The dramatic change, the dramatic transformation that we are having nowadays with the surrounding technologies that are helping this dramatic accelerated revolution is getting faster and faster. It was only 13 years of the transportation services to change, causing related industries as well either to collapse if they don't go with the stream or prosper with new opportunities. Just a few years ago, the personal transportation we have is a current example of it. To function or to go, if you don't have your own car or you don't want to use it, to go or to use the train or any other public transportation, you need to physically go to the road to call for a taxi or to call for a car service if you have some advancement, and probably you will struggle to do so to find one if it is not like the rush hours of the day. However, technology-based companies were able to transform this industry, the transportation or car hiring industry, to change the game completely. So digital devices that aided that dramatic transformation have disrupted the definition of competition and changed the facets of human being lives. And we are moving towards other revolutions. This is another example of Rio tend towards biggest robots that makes first driverless delivery. It can carry up to 28,000 tons of iron without a driver. It is not just a single robot that can do some tasks in your household or on the industry to carry from a corner to another corner. No, it is carrying tons and tons of irons and goods to other areas without the need for human disruption. This may affect dramatically the ecosystem of the world and the economics and so on. Going back to our local initiatives and let's say dreams, we have our Saudi 2030 vision. New is the future that we need to be ready for. Is it going to be run with the conventional industries that we still have nowadays? I don't think so, and I doubt it. The aims to improve and develop our quality of life is great, is demanded and needed with many prospects that and aspects that we need to affect them or to develop them and to utilize them together. We have in the energy, water, mobility, biotech, food, manufacturing, education even, life availability, sport, technology and digital, tourism is one of the main aspects. So it is not a matter of just a single aspect or a single sector. It is it can encompass up to 16 sectors. So talking about the history a little bit, about the revolution of Industry 4. Industry world witnessed three revolutions, and now businesses, mainly in production and manufacturing, are working towards digitalizing initiatives that would lead us to the full transformation to the fourth industrial revolutions. See that the first revolution, that it was merely related to mechanical production, started on 1750 or the 18th. Then it moved towards Industry 2 with the enablement of electricity. Then the current one, the Industry 3, with the IT aid and support and electronics. Now we are moving towards Industry 4 that needs not only IT in general, but more encompassing aspects that we need to take into account. Nowadays, frankly speaking, most manufacturing industries in Saudi industrial cities are still at Industry 3 level. Our physical world has become hyper connected and is now rapidly being augmented with a layer of smartness or intelligence, in other words. The fourth industrial revolution, like the ones that came before, is driven by new technologies. These new technologies are going to lead us with some other initiatives to reach smart manufacturing that would go to a buzzword called smart X of anything around us, or internet of everything rather than internet of things. So we have here smart mobilities, smart grid, smart logistics, business web, social web, smart homes, smart buildings, all of which are surrounding the industry for smartness factory or smartness manufacturing. So we don't have only the things that are going to be with the internet or the gadgets, dumb gadgets, but also the services, the people themselves, and the data. So what is the requirements that will help us to reach the level of being or producing at the level of Industry 4? As we said that we are still at Industry 3. There are many buzzwords that are surrounding us nowadays. As we can see that we are still technology driven. So we are moving towards manufacturing that will encompass many aspects, or most, or if not all, of these buzz terminologies plus others. It is not a matter of Internet of Things, as you said. It is not a matter of having smart or intelligent devices, but how to connect them, to cooperate between them, to synthesize between them using artificial intelligence, machine learning, how to protect them by cybersecurity requirements. We need to have such an intelligent predictive analysis that will lead us to take intelligent decisions on time. What about 3D printing? cloud computing, and edge computing, all of them are together are creating big data. How are we going to protect these data? How are we going to process them on time and to take decisions, the correct decisions on time in order to have smart manufacturing? So, as you can imagine, that Industry 4 is a complete framework that seeks to propose a broad technology and business framework that practically every new and emerging trend can find a home inside, wherein lies much of the confusion that surrounds these all-encompassing terminologies. Therefore, again, Industry 4 is not a single technology or even a group of these technologies that can be implemented, but any other emerging technologies must or we must have a place for it to be included. So using just automation layers and new business models in Industry 4, five organizational areas will be affected. The first one is the operations management, the supply chain management, product service innovations, data science management, as well as IT and OT integration management. Talking about this pyramids, the integration of digital and physical systems, Internet of Things, big data analytics, robotics, and 3D printing will permeate all these levels. For example, in ERP, it leverages the capabilities, service, and data intelligence that have to really transform the business model with numerous services depending on the context. With regard to the MAS, it will enable us to connect assets, data, and monitoring systems to have smarter applications and capabilities, such as preventing and predictive maintenance and assets tracking as digital resources of revenue. With regard to SCADA, for example, it will monitor and manage systems and conditions of assets. The objectives becomes monitoring for a reason, not just monitoring for monitoring purposes, but for a reason or for reasons, for logical reasons, such as to enhance, understand, and build new capabilities. With regard to the bottom layer, the machines, products, and manufacturing assets that become information carriers. So sensors and actuators get deployed to connect what need to be connected, to sense what need to be sensed. It is not just put without any purpose. According to a survey conducted by Manpower Group, around 34% of the employers mentioned lack of candidates with required technical competencies, hard skills, to be as the next major reason for the talent shortage, while around 20% reported lack of experience and workplace competencies, soft skills, as the other reason. So we can see here that one of the requirements for moving towards Industry 4 on time is the talents that we need them to run both with hard skills and with soft skills as well. It is not enough to have programming skills or to have data management skills or quality control without having a good skills in communications, in problem identification and solving, in continuous learning, in creativity, change management, and ideation. It is a fallacy. It is a wrong idea for some people to think that moving towards Industry 4 will eliminate completely the need for human beings. No, I don't think so. It is not fact, and I don't think that it will happen. Yes, it will remove the need for some basic matters that doesn't need these sort of skills, doesn't need the level of human being intelligence, as they can be replaced by robots, for example. But on the other hand, no, still we are going to need human beings as the manpower that we need to run these manufacturing, to analyze the data, to even validate the decisions that are taken by robots or by the systems, whether they are sound or not. They might be even other or new emerging positions and career routes that will be there and needed. So a competency level would be the recommended approach to ensure the required skill sets, capabilities, activities, processes, and decisions are mastered to enable the range of Industry 4 demands to be met in a more effective and efficient fashion. So multiple experts in a multidisciplinary team comprised of several separated fields of expertise, e.g. financial, electronics, software, mechanics and manufacturing, computer scientists, lead to the need that each one has some knowledge level of the other fields. It is not enough for each one of these teams or experts to go by himself or by herself without any cooperation and liaison with the others. So the success of the transformation to Industry 4 would require multi-competencies within multidisciplinary team. So what are the challenges? We have mentioned now the requirements. But what about the challenges that are closely usually related with the requirements? Transformation from Industry 3 to Industry 4 is facing a number of challenges, which are related to the workforce, knowledge and skills, financial investments, legislations, centralization, decentralizations, data security and privacy, and multidisciplinary collaboration. All of these are required to be taken into account, to be considered carefully in order to be successful at the transformation. So the success of this transformation depends not only on the manufacturing machines deployed, but also on the workforce running and managing them, as well as many other issues that we have mentioned. People being an integral part of Industry 4, their competencies need to be developed to overcome various challenges. You can see that here we have three pillars for Industry 4. We have the people, things, and businesses. Businesses alone, without people and things, we cannot have industry. Things alone, without the engagement of people and businesses, or without having people engagement, we are not going to have a successful Industry 4. So all these three should work together in a harmony so they can reach the successful transformation to Industry 4. With them, we need digital security and risk. We need scaled performance, that it is scalable, that whenever we add a new service, a new device, any new plans, any a new partnership, that it is scalable and the business will not be interrupted. The Internet of Things, it has to be adaptable and flexible with the new, for example, with the new emerging technologies. We should have a rapid integration, that any of these new emerging technologies can be integrated with our systems and manufacturing systems. So we need, the challenge here, one of the challenges here is that we need novel security, novel cybersecurity solutions that should be introduced at the same pace of Industry 4 technologies adoption. We need to keep the pace, or the same pace, or even faster with the advancement in the Industry 4. We need to have cybersecurity solutions. The migration that we have here and coordination between diverse and heterogeneous databases and legacy systems as well are enormous challenges. Industry 4 will lead to a dynamic, international, interdisciplinary, and multidisciplinary work environments. So, as we set the stage now for the drivers and motors to go to Industry 4, and what is it, what are its requirements and challenges, what are the next steps or what needed to be done in future or now. Cultivating the talents has to be considered throughout education and career phases as well. So we highly recommend that we expose our students to the advancements in technology applications in real life. We need to engage them in activities that empower them with leadership, innovation, and creativity skills. Engaging them on these activities, we need to reconsider the design of our curricula, co-curricula, and extracurricular activities, in addition to the on-job training programs and activities, in order to encompass all the required competencies aiming at a successful transformation to Industry 4. Develop upskilling interventions to the employees and consider redeployment programs for jobs replaced by robots or robotics in general. So the transformation to Industry 4 would change the job profiles, as we said earlier, and therefore requires employees to be equipped with a wide range of competencies. Significant, relevant future trends would be global optimization, greater customer focus adaptation, miniaturization, smart data gathering and analytics, not only dams, among others. So all of these are the relevant, significant, anticipated trends that would affect the transformation to Industry 4 and will aid the transformation to be successful. So we need to have R&D adjustments. Our conventional, traditional R&D would not suffice. We need to have new distribution channels. We need to have shorter lead time, shorter overhead. We need even to have more digitizations and even more preventive maintenance. So given that these trends are closely linked with the Industry 4 challenges and issues, a more holistic approach is highly recommended to enable tackling them in a timely and efficient fashion. In conclusion, Industry 4 will change the entire manufacturing system from architecture and organizational structure to products, services, and business models. The development and deployment of these solutions will be incremental and part of a long-term trend, but the opportunity is already here today. Companies that fail to educate themselves on these evolutionary technologies and fail to invest in training their manpower as well as in keeping pace of the trending projects will lose their competitive advantage and miss the opportunity to lead the transformation that is currently sweeping across the manufacturing industry. If you haven't yet begun on this journey, you must start today. Thank you very much. That's all from me. Do you have any question before we end our meeting or our session? Please, if you have any question, feel free to ask now. Yes, Majid.
شكرا على المحاضرة يا دكتور. أنا بس حبيت أسأل، بصفتك أنت في يعني قلب مدينة صناعية متكاملة في المملكة.
نعم.
الاندستريال 4 ريفوليوشن هي المين ايشو حقها اللي هي الهيومن ريسورسز to deal with the elements of the 4.0 in a way، يعني البروجرامينج والانفراستراكشر والروبوتكس اللي الاندستريال روبوتكس والسيرفيس روبوتكس. يعني مثل واحد ما يقول انه في المستقبل المصانع راح يكون فيها كائنين، إنسان وأنت بكرامة كلب. وظيفة الإنسان إنه يطعم الكلب، ووظيفة الكلب إنه يعض الإنسان إذا تدخل ولمسه له. يعني هذا الفيجن. فالسؤال إحنا نرجع للإندستري as an investment it's cost effective. فما هي المعادلة التي وضعت from time span لتوفير the human resources to deal with the elements of the industry 4.0, mainly in the software, cybersecurity, and others, and the return on investment on that. As an example, when a new company established or existing company to be transformed to the 4.0 اللي هو يسمونه عملية التحول الرقمي. والآن احنا نعرف مثلا في الصندوق الصناعي عندهم برامج لتمويل المصانع لتغطية تكلفة التحول الرقمي في الشركات الصناعية. فما هي يعني وجهة نظرك بحكم التخصص والواقع في هالموضوع من ناحية الكوست افكتيف؟ شكرا.
شكرا أستاذ ماجد دكتور ماجد. Yes, I agree with you that these are the most challenges that need to be tackled on time. There are, as you mentioned, there are many initiatives in our country, in Saudi Arabia in general, and even in our the Jubel industries, that some of them are funded by governments. Some of the initiatives are by directing some of the universities and colleges to equip their students by opening new streams in the current degrees, or even opening new bachelor degrees or master degrees in that. Even the support that we have from the Human Resource Ministry for some of the professional certificates that they cover, at least I think one or two, I don't remember, one expenses or two expenses for acquiring the certificates or the international professional certificates for their course of the exams. These are for the future. Currently, I agree with you that there are some factories or manufacturings that are there, some petrochemical or general industries, just companies that are there. They have the capability or the potential to move towards Industry 4, but there are some others that are difficult to move now with their current situation. So they need to have dramatic change on their business models in general. And we have even the new industries that are being built, like in اليوم and in other industrial cities that, as we have in the Royal Commission, we have even in Jazan now. It is attached now with the Royal Commission of Jubail and Yamba. There are some new industrial cities around Saudi Arabia that they are being built now from almost scratch, based on the elements and the requirements of Industry 4. So it needs time. I cannot give a time scale for it, but we hope that by 2030 at least, we are going to have like a good proportion of our industries at or reach that level of Industry 4.
السؤال الثاني إذا تسمح لي. احنا نعرف الآن إنه في مركز الوطني للثورة الصناعية الرابعة 4.0 في منشئ في مدينة الملك عبد العزيز للعلوم التقنية. هذا ناشونال سنتر، واعتقد سووه بالتعاون مع ديفوس كونفرنس، وأرامكو هي بحد ذاتها عندها اتجاه في هالموضوع أو عندها سنتر في الموضوع، لكن أرامكو تبقى أرامكو شركة خاصة، ولكن هذا مركز وطني. فاللي بعرفه هل في تنسيق ما بين الهيئة مع المركز الوطني للثورة الصناعية الرابعة؟ يعني في الإمارات أو أنشأوا مجلس وطني وليس مركز، لكن هنا مركز وطني، فأكيد المركز له خطط ولا مانديت على مستوى الوطن، وبالتالي الصناعة جزء منها، لأنها كونه الموضوع يتعلق في إحدى برامج الرؤية 13 وهو برنامج تطوير الصناعة والنقل. يعني هي في 3 قطاعات في البرنامج هذا. فهذا البرنامج مع الثورة الصناعية الرابعة ومعاكم أنتم كهيئة ملكية إحدى الجهات الرئيسية أو الرائدة في الموضوع هذا، هل في شيء من التنسيق أو في نوع من التمثيل لكم في المركز بحيث تلقي الضوء عليه الشيء؟
ما عندي علم عنه بصراحة. يعني شان المركز أساساً ما عندي علم للأسف. تابع لإيه؟ تابع لمن؟ ما عندي علم.
هذا تابع لمدينة الملك عبد العزيز للعلوم والتقنية، وهي مشاركة في هالمؤتمر هذا عن طريق الدكتور أنس الفارس اللي هو رئيس المدينة. يعني
ما شاء الله.
فما أدري، يعني أنا بس حبيت
أستفسر. لا والله ما أدري. شكرا. هذا إضافة جيدة أنا أستفيد منها.
إيه مشكور. لا عندكم فرصة تطلبون تصيرون يعني في البورد حق المركز هذا نفسه، يعني تمثلونه. أنا
بالعكس مهم جدا، لأن الهيئة الملكية للجبال وينبع الآن يعني صارت 4 مدن، جبال وينبع وراس الخير وجازان الاقتصادية، فوجودها
يعني أنا اللي
ضروري. بس ما أدري قد تكون موجودة وأنا ما أدري بصراحة.
أوكي، أنا بس اللي بقوله يعني الربط ما بين البرنامج الوطني إحدى برامج الرؤية للصناعة لتطوير الصناعة، أصلا هو اسمه تطوير الصناعة وليس تنمية الصناعة. معناته التطوير إنك تنتقل من مرحلة إلى مرحلة، يعني من الصناعة التقليدية إلى الصناعة الحديثة والمتقدمة اللي هي صناعة 4.0. فهذا هو المقصود بالتطوير. فبالتالي أنتم يعني عنصر رئيسي كهيئة مدن صناعية رئيسية، فأعتقد إنه اللوجيك يقول إنكم تكونوا ممثلين في المركز الوطني. شكرا.
Any other questions? Could I have? So I have to conclude.
Yes, shukran, Doctor. Thank you very much for the nice presentation. Thank you for your contribution with us, with the AI Society. We are very honored to have you. Inshallah, we will have lots of work related to fourth industrial revolution and how AI can add value to this at the level of our society as well as to our country, inshallah, today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your invitation, especially you and your professional communication, Dr.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.